Okay, guys, we're going to talk about the right way to change a flat tire. That's right, the right way to change a flat tire. Yep, that's flat. Okay, there's no such thing as the right way. As long as the end result is the same, a road bike that you can actually ride without issue, it's all good. So, here are some of the tools that I keep in my travel kit that I'm on bike with. I have the adapter for my CO2 cartridge. I have a couple bike levers, or tire levers rather, and I also have a spare tube, of course. And then for air support while on the road, I have CO2 cartridge. And I also carry a backup CO2 cartridge. It's okay to have an air pump, but I like to keep things light and easy. All right, so for this job, we're really only going to need the tire levers, the spare tube, and a bike pump. So I got a standard bike pump. You're going to want to go ahead and get your bike up in the air. All right. I have a bike stand that I use while at home, but when you're changing the tire, when you're roadside, things can get a little chaotic out there. Your bike may be on the ground, flipped upside down, what have you. But in any event, the first thing I'm going to do when I get the wheel off is I'm going to inspect the outside of the tire for any damage, also for any objects that may have gotten lodged within the tire itself. You guys would be surprised at some of the metal shards and pieces of glass and things like that that I pick up here in Northeast Florida. But quick visual of the outside of the tire confirms nothing is there. So next, what we're going to want to do is go ahead and start working that tire off of the rim or wheel. I like to kind of massage the tire itself, just to kind of get it nice and loose. I don't like to use a lot of extra tools, especially with these wheels. I don't like other things kind of rubbing up against them a lot. So make sure you use some plastic tire levers. You don't want to use anything metal. I know back in the day when I was repairing my old Swin Cruiser my dad bought me, I would get a screwdriver or anything I could, just kind of get in there and get that wheel off. But that is not the right thing to do, especially this day and age with the cost of some of these wheels. So you want to make sure that you protect it while you're trying to get that tire off. So you can see here, I kind of got one of the tire levers worked in there. I'm just going to work that other tire lever around right now, just to kind of get it going around. And as you can see, it just kind of breaks off of the wheel. Pretty easy, right? So once you get some of it off, it's pretty easy to go ahead and just work the rest of the tire off. When I'm roadside, I don't like to take the entire tire off of the wheel. It just kind of helps make the tube change a lot faster when you're on the side of the road and got cars flying by you at 30, 40, 50 miles an hour. You want to kind of get in and out of there quickly. So it's funny, I'm always timing myself when I'm doing these types of things. So, but in any event, I do have I don't know what do you call this little doohickey here, but it's a little screw that basically keeps the stem from going down in the rim when I'm changing that flat tire. I kind of like to keep at least one or two of those around. So from there, you're going to go ahead and get that old tube out of there. From here, again, when you're roadside, you're just going to kind of keep the tire halfway on the wheel itself like that. You're going to want to check and visually inspect the inside of that tire for any objects that may have gotten lodged in. Since I'm here at home, I'm going to go ahead and remove the entire tire because I do have a little bit more time to actually inspect the tire itself and see if there's anything in there that could potentially puncture a new inner tube once I do put it in there. So just the visual check of the inner tube, kind of confirm there are no shards or spikes or pieces of glass or anything like that. You're also inspecting the tire itself for any damage. Sometimes the tire may get sliced with some of the objects that it encounters while you're on the road riding around. So you just want to make sure that there's nothing in there and that tire is pretty solid. This one seems pretty okay, so I think I'm good to go here. All right. Yep, I can confirm. I think this is pretty good, gang. Nothing there. Yep, yep. All right, I think we're pretty solid. Tell you another little trick that my dad taught me back in the day. I know, again, when you're a kid, you don't want to get your fingers cut. So he would always say, son, grab a paper towel and just kind of gently wipe it around the tire. So that is another little tip for you guys, you noobs out there. I always love that term, noobs. It sounds so nerdy, right? In any event, you just want to kind of work that paper towel around. If there are any sharp objects in there, it will kind of catch on that paper towel. So once you go one way, you just want to kind of go in reverse in that other direction, just in case you caught anything that was laying down while you were going in the one direction. Quick little visual check. I thought I felt something catch there, but it turned out to be nothing. Yep, pretty smooth, gang, pretty smooth. Now, ultimately, when I'm on the side of the road, a job like this front tire will typically take me about 5 minutes or so. Of course, I think this video turns out to be about, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, 12 minutes maybe. That's actually changing the flat, talking you guys through it and working the video. So it doesn't quite take that long, especially once you've done it a couple times. You really kind of know what you're doing. But here's another little pro tip. Once you do put that tire back on, I do like to put the tire on before I start the inner tube back in. Remember, just put the tire on the wheel halfway. But another little pro tip is you want to kind of get the lettering on your tire to line up with the stem. If you guys kind of notice that, I got the center of that wording there on the tire kind of synced up with the stem. It just kind of helps the aesthetics of the bike because I'm vain like that, right? Most cyclists are. But also it kind of gives you an indication of exactly where that stem is, so you can kind of locate it pretty quickly, especially when you're in a road race or something like that, and folks are trying to get a tire change in pretty quickly. You don't want to be fumbling around with the wheel trying to figure out where the stem is. All right, so once you go ahead and center that verbiage on the tire up, that lettering, you want to go ahead and kind of start working that new inner tube back into the tire itself. I like to put a little air into the inner tube, the new one, once I get ready to put it on. It just makes it a little easier to, kind of line up with the beads on the wheel and kind of falls right into the track of the tire, as you guys kind of see here. But so I like to kind of start with the stem side, put the stem in first, and then just kind of start working that new tube into the wheel and tire. So kind of playing with it here a little bit, but you guys will see I'm trying to get it perfect, right? Planning a ride as soon as I get this thing changed, which hopefully may shoot a little video here at the end for you guys, just as a little treat, right? Okay, but here we are, just kind of working that inner tube in there. Yep. Just kind of falls in place, as you guys have noticed. Not too difficult at all. So easy, even a Joe could do it, right? Caveman like me. But yeah, you just kind of work that around the wheel, get it right in there. So you guys need to drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys are doing for the new year as far as staying active. I'm shooting video, posting it daily. Just, either on bike. When I'm not on bike, I'm probably doing a walk and talk or lifting weights or, one of numerous activities I kind of partake in. But in any event, go ahead and drop a comment. Let me know what you guys are doing for the new year. to stay active. So as you get that tube in there, you see, you just kind of work that tire back onto the wheel as well. Again, I like to kind of massage the tire onto the wheel. I don't want to use a lot of tools, and especially me with this tire and wheel combination, I've never had an issue where the tires are so tight that they are very difficult to get back onto the wheel. I know that there are some folks that experience that with the certain tires and wheel combination that they run, but fortunately, I haven't run into that. And I've been kind of running the Specialized Turbo Pros ever since I've had the bike, even with the wheel change. But again, you're just gonna massage that tire back onto the wheel. You see, it just kind of pops right in place. You just want to get the bead back into the hook there. Once it's on, just kind of pinch it again a few more times just to make sure that that tube has fallen into the track all the way around the wheel. Once that is done, you're good to go. Just go ahead and pump that tire up. You can see I went ahead and used my tire pump and pumped that sucker up. Once you got air in, you're just going to want to put that wheel back on. Now, since my bike is in the air, I'm going to kind of put it in now. But, once I do take it out of the bike stand, I'll, go ahead and have a little bit of weight on the bike so that I can get that tire and wheel to lock in properly like it should. But that's really it, gang. Nothing to it. Once the wheel is back on, you are back in business and ready to go. I want to thank all you guys for taking the time to watch the video. If you like what you see, please smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel because I got more content coming. But other than that, I think it's time to ride. Here's a little video.